was like in intermission, I guess. I did end up getting the R35 on that thing where I left off. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch the last video before this one. I'm completing Gran Turismo 7 with 100% and collecting all the cars that there are to collect in the cafe menus. What?
Move down so I can charge my phone.
And I got to the next challenge, and it is now the rally spec challenge. So I souped up a WRX and completed a lap. I only ended up getting third place because I'm not quite used to the rally mechanics in this game just yet. I also didn't really know how to modify the suspension to suit the car, but what I did was I gave it as much power as possible. I also edited the livery, as you can see. I also edited my driver livery while I was off, and yeah, this is my lap. So to kick things off, I went full speed into this corner and went down to second and completely binned it because I was going too fast for this corner here. I'm not exactly the best when it comes to rally racing. I don't really know how to do it just yet. I'm not quite up to spec when it comes to rally races. Like this jump here completely ruined it for me because I didn't manage to slow down in time for this corner. Oh no, maybe I did. This corner here is also one that throws me off, especially with that dip there just before this corner. I came out, ended up passing the quattro rather. I came up to this corner. Normally I come around here in third, and it did manage to stick, but I also still wasn't quite used to it and went straight into the wall and into that Evo there. Then I'm pretty sure I ended up clipping this wall on this corner. Yep, just like that. And ended up having to try catch up again. Got passed by the Evo and the Quattro again. Came down this corner. Now this setup here is quite confusing for me. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, just sort of depends on the day. And went around that corner in second. Normally I just rip it round in second, go on the brakes, then rip it round again. And I did that here, and it sort of worked until I went into third. So I make my way down the hill on Fisherman's Ranch. I come around that corner a bit too hot and didn't make it quite as fast as I would have hoped, and was a little bit fishtaily on this straight here. So I go up like that completely, got way more air than I had hoped for, and the front of my car is completely totaled now as well. So I did add a rigidity aspect to my car when modding it. I managed to make it around that Subi there, and I hang it around this corner here, and yeah, this one here I completely messed up the jump after this corner, so I came up to it real fast. Well, I say real fast, but yeah, I managed to do that, flick and roll the car upside down, which is not the way you want to do it. There's no wheels on your roof, so you can't exactly drive properly. So I have to make up for time again. I come ripping around this corner and down to here in second. Yet again, I normally go around this corner in third, but I'm not quite confident with this car just yet. Flip it around in second again. Now I did put a high RPM turbo in this as well, with an anti-lag system, and as you can see when I come out of corners I'm getting a lot of speed just like that. Getting a bit too much speed off the jumps, but the turbo definitely helps with this car, keeping the air cooled so that the engine gets a bit more power out of the intake. And then I completely mess up that drift there. Yeah, I'll go back for you again just so that you can watch it from potentially a different angle. Come around this corner, flick it in, go wide there, try to save it, and end up doing that. So yet again, have to make up the time to catch the cars in front of me. Now this lap here is because I learnt a little from the first lap, as you normally do. I came around a little slower there so that I could get more speed on the exit. Release the throttle there where I did it last time so that I could keep the car maintained. I forgot that you need to release the throttle when mid-air so that you can gain traction properly when you land. I did it there, but it still didn't work, so I think I need to slow down before that jump next time. This corner here, I tuck in and brake a little earlier, still went a little wide as I got on the gas a bit too early, but I managed to keep it semi-contained compared to last time. Come up the hill, down to second, trying to stay as slow as possible around this corner, but still maintaining speed. I managed to stick the corner properly this time, and this one managed to go in tandem with it. So it's actually looking really attractive right now. Come around this corner, hang it wide, and keeping the car in contact with the ground and making sure I've got traction or as much as I can. Now this one here, I was weaving in and out of cars. So I'd come round, flip it round on the gas, on the outside, inside of the Porsche, Peugeot, managed to go on the outside. That was a reverse entry, by the way, because I've got a steering adapter in the car. And as I make my way down the hill, I pass that set of cars in probably the tightest part of this track. Now, I flick it around this corner and I'm like, oh, I'm in third. I need to absolutely go for it so I can catch up to them, because they were about 9 seconds, maybe 8 seconds in front of me. And then I do that, costing me more valuable time that I don't have at this point in time, because I'm on the last legs of this lap. I've got about a minute and a half, just over. So you start to really focus on the lap. Coming up here, flicking it around every corner. This one I broke a little bit earlier and go down to second. I'll try flick it round. But I also didn't notice that every time I go into a turn, as you can see, oh, not in this corner, I'm actually braking through the turns and forgetting that you can't brake while turning in this game. So that was a bit more controlled, but I still haven't quite figured out how to land on the dirt yet, because the physics are a bit different to Gran Turismo Sport. But either way, I come up here and trying to turn on the brakes yet again, not managing to get the rear wheels to spin properly. Go around this corner here, trying to tuck it in close and make an apex, and then missing it and hitting the wall, leading me to do this absolute spectacular jump here. So that was probably the most contained jump I've had all game. Contained big jump. I keep it close to the wall there, steady as I come through, flicking it round again, steady through that corner, and managed to keep it contained and managed to whittle the time down to 1 second difference. Now, I did get a 3:27, which was pretty good. That was quite a bit faster than last lap, but I did only end up in third. Oh no, 3 seconds rather. 3 seconds slower. But on the plus side, I did end up getting the gift car, which was an Audi Quattro. Now the other cars we've got to obtain is a Ford Focus and another car that I can't quite remember. So they are on Fisherman's Ranch and Sardinia Windmills, which is this one. That's the Peugeot 205. 205, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Now this track I'm a bit better than the other ones. Oh yeah, 205 turbo. And I can get this track fairly right depending on the day. Dirt racing for me is one of those, I can either do it or I can't. It all depends on the day. Racing, I just have to warm up if it's asphalt. So this one, bear with me, I don't know how well this is going to be. Okay. So I'll quickly accept. Now I don't actually have a Type B version of the WRX, and I didn't exactly go out and buy one. I just sort of modded this one, so it's not technically a rally car, it's just one that I put dirt tyres on. It's just a car that I put dirt tyres on and expected it to do well, so you're gonna have to bear with me in these races. But the sound of it is amazing. It's probably the best sounding Subaru I've heard in my life. Straight into the back of the Honda. That's the way to do it. Right, so we'll be coming around these corners here. Now I apologise in advance if I stop talking every now and then on these tracks. I need a lot more focus on these than asphalt because less terrain, you don't have much grip. So come around that corner there, that was actually pretty tidy. Maximising the turbo through the corners as well. Right, oh, bit too much power through that corner. Flip the car around. So come through here, keep it close to this apex, and remember there's a jump there and a jump there, and then there's a big one over the start finish. Oh no, I'm just tripping. Right, so we come around here, maximising the turbo yet again, making sure that it's spooled for this corner. Okay, so we actually had a bit of lag there. I don't know why the anti-lag isn't working. Oh, wait, that's right, it only works between gear shifts. Okay, so completely sideways for this corner. That is the show of the steering angle adapter. Just shows how much it helps in these kinds of races, and then we go too fast and can't brake. So do need to be aware that on this track, some of the tight corners, there's jumps just before the brake zone. Like up here, there's 2 jumps just before the brake zone. And you need to take that into account and brake a little earlier so that you don't go too fast and go over the jump too high and too far and then end up missing your braking zone. So here's the leading pack. We're going to flip the car around, stay in third and boost our way out of there. Stay close to this. Watch out for the jump and this jump, and then we're facing the wrong way, perpendicular driving. 3 seconds faster on that lap, so that's good. Down to third, around here, maximising turbo spool yet again. Coming through these corners with our absolutely beast mode sounding car. Now steering angle adapter helping us yet again. Oh! Shifting a little early into 4th, hearing the revs drop. Trying to use 2nd to keep the car contained for that corner. Not quite working. These cars are quite fast as well, especially if you're as bad at rally as I am. Oh, managed to keep the car away from the wall just then. It's a good piece of driving there. Gonna coast off the throttle ready for my braking zone here. Use 2nd to spin the car around, given that I didn't brake early enough. That's the other addition to off-road racing, if you do it. If you miss your brake zone, you go down into the into the gear with the lowest ratio, or the highest ratio. I can't quite remember the ratio thing. But you go into a gear that will give you the most wheel spin if you miss your brake turn and your brake point, and you use the power of the vehicle to try turn it around so that you can use your acceleration to slow down, especially if you've got a high power vehicle like I've got right now. It's not quite 700 power points, which is what this race is, but it's got enough power to keep the wheels spinning if I really need it. It's also got 500 brake horsepower, which I gave it by upgrading the engine as much as possible. Now yet again, brake early for that corner. On the revs in second so that I can get wheel spin around the corner. Corner here, going to be on the brakes mid-air so that I can change gear. I don't know why I was on the brakes in mid-air. That would have been bad if my wheels were locked up and I landed. Okay, down to second a bit early. Flickering, not working. Rev the engine. Second, rev the engine. Second, stay in second. Go in third if you really want to get a bit more drive out of the corner because your wheels will spin faster because they've got a higher gear reach. Bit slower for these jumps given our absolute shenanigans on the first 3 laps. On to the final lap. Ready for this corner here. More ready than last time. We're ahead by about 2 seconds. So we got the advantage of time. Absolutely revving the tits off this engine now. Staying in fourth and using the adapter so I can drift around this corner. And making sure that my replay looks good. Brake before the jump. Into second. Maybe use a handbrake, which is hydraulic by the way. I did put the good handbrake in here. Coming up to this corner, might be able to stick it in fourth. No, third. Absolutely flooring it around the corner. Into second, through this corner. Second, flick the car around because it didn't quite do it right the first time. Into third because I need more wheel spin, given how close I was to a wall there. So the mechanics of rallying is fairly easy, but it will take a while for you to get used to it. Especially for me, I'm not quite used to it yet. But we did manage to finish with a 1:23. And I do kind of want to watch the replay just to see where I can and can't improve on that lap, because that was probably the worst lap I've ever done on Sardinia windmills. But we won't focus on that, we'll just focus on the fact that we did get first and we got our 65. And on top of that, we also ended up with our Peugeot, which I'm never going to use because I don't like Peugeot. We're going to collect our collector points and go up to collector level 23. And then we're going to go ahead and watch the replay. So I'm going to turn on all info so that I can put my throttle on brake. There I am. Alright. So these first few bits were a bit scuffed. Okay. Okay. Let's see.
Put it all on my plate.
just had to, you know, have my dinner. Alright, back to the replay. Driving straight into the wall. Oh, that's so good that I messed up, so hit through. So we know what the problem with that was. Let's just skip to the last lap. Okay. Just so I can nitpick this lap. So that one I was way too shallow for that corner anyway. This one absolutely ripping it around. Count a second. I did manage to keep that fairly contained. I could have been a bit wider on the entry. Jump and pop it over. Keep the power on. Down to second now. That was fairly good. And what happened here was when I tried to flip to the left, it didn't quite work, which is why I went into third so that I could get a bit more wheel spin and push me out of the corner. And we ended up with going slow over that jump, yep, and then going sideways over there. I don't know why that works. And then getting a 1:23.6. I have had better on that lap, on that track, but you know, like I said, sort of depends on the day, on the time and day. And where I live, it's about 5:45 right now, so there is that. Over to Alsace, whatever it is, the actual track for some reason. And I'm gonna use maybe this car because it's a bit better on the corners. And I'll see if I can do anything in the settings. There's not really anything I can do here. And for some people, everyone's using rally cars on this race. Yeah, Mustang, Group B, Group B, Group B. Just no group at all. Car seat. Alright, cool. Center. I don't know why it's not letting me enter every now and then. I'll press enter and it won't put me in, and it's kind of annoying me. And I want to figure out why it's doing that, but I kind of can't be bothered. So Alsace is one of my weaker tracks. It does take a bit of effort for me to get around here quickly, so I do need to work on that on here. And yeah, so I sort of need to work on it. So it's good that we're doing this track. When I first got this game, it threw me straight into Music Rally and made me do this track. So I've got a bit of experience doing this. And I did used to play it on GT Sport every now and then. And if GT Sport had maintenance, this isn't exactly the track that I chose. But I do know the track from campaign and some daily races. I don't know why he's braking there, it's a weird place to brake. Just completely turned into me. That's awesome. So we're coming up behind this NX, and then almost into the back of the NX. Slowing down for this corner. This car is a bit slippy slidey as well, so we do need to bear that in mind. But on the plus side, we're not using rally cars as our race car. We're using an actual Group 4 race car, which is built to do this track. These guys are built to do high revs and be able to drift and do jumps, not go around tight corners without drifting like that. Now you can stay in third for this corner here. I learned that a while ago when I was doing the track, the circuit experience on Gran Turismo Sport. I haven't done it on here because, oh wow, the times you need to set on circuit experience now on this game is way tighter than it used to be on Gran Turismo Sport. You could have like, you could get gold fairly easy on the circuit experience on GT Sport, but this time it's like really tight. Like the margin is, you can't have any errors at all. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm too much of a fan for that. I don't really like it at all. Especially if you're trying to do it to get money, which is what I was doing on GT Sport. I'd need money to buy cars and stuff like that, and I'd try to grind out a couple challenges or do a little bit of the circuit campaign, and it would say, and you could pass it pretty easily so that you could get money. But you can't do that anymore, so I'm not too thrilled about that. I do want Gran Turismo to sort of listen to me about that and listen to a few other people, because I'm not the only one with that problem. A lot of people are having problems with completing it all gold, especially in the slippy road cars. Like, you have to have a lot of control and a lot of practice, to be honest, to make sure that the car can get around the track, because you just slip and slide everywhere. And you'll hit walls or something, or you'll go a bit tight on a corner or a bit wide, like that wide, and you still won't get enough time, or you'd have a little spin out, like you have a little skid like that, and it'll slow you down, and it makes it so that you get silver. Sometimes it'll put you all the way down to bronze. Like even silver is tough to beat, which is not exactly ideal. So I would like Gran Turismo to fix it, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, as per tradition here on this track, a silent lap to see how fast I can go. Oh, bit wide, bit low on the brakes.
Sorry.
No, I wasn't. At least I know what happened there. Well, no point in being inside of it anymore because I just ruined the track, the lap. What happened was I was on the brakes and the car started to slide out, and I tried to see if I could stick it as a drift, but racing soft tyres don't really like to drift. It's more racing hard. And so yeah, I just completely botched that lap. Looks like my hopes and dreams of beating that time are not really up there anymore. But either way, we got the last car, the Focus RS. Was it? Is it the RS? Yeah. Either way, we got the rally car, and we've got all three, which means we can now go see Luca and get our new track. I don't know what the new track is. I will have to see. I think now it's a competition, one of the worldwide tournaments, a Grand Prix, because I just finished a set of these races, like a few of them, so there should be a tournament now. So we'll go to the CAF and talk to Luca and see what's up. Here's our rally cars. Congratulations, you've got all three cars. This completes your Group B collection. Yep. Cool. 4-star rally. Oh, okay. Okay. Collection. So, just for those of you who are new or who don't know how I do this on this channel, so I'll complete a set and then I'll talk to Luca and I'll read what there is to say, and yeah. Rally cars are built for rallies, time trial races which take place on public roads. Here we have the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16 Evolution 2, wow, and the Audi Quattro S1 Pikes Peak. Both are legendary rally cars that were on top of their game in the 1980s. While rallying is enjoyed all over the world today, do you know where it all began? The sport has origins in the Middle Ages in a ritual where knights rushed or rallied to their lords. Modern rallying is an attempt to recreate this ritual in the automotive age. The world's first ever rally was the Monte Carlo Rally, held in 1911. Participants would set off from cities all over Europe to meet or rally in Monaco. Rallying soon spread beyond the European continent, and before long it was the global motorsport we know today. Wow, that's actually quite cool. I didn't know that. Ah, it's Ferrari now. Yeah. 308 GTB, 458 Italia, F1, the F12 Berlinetta. And we unlock 24 years Du Mans Racing Circuit, France. I don't know what racing circuit that is. That's the last European track I need though. I think we're close to 100%ing, boys. I already did do some of this before I started streaming it, so there is that, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Okay, over to World Circuits. Now where are these races? Probably mostly in Europe. I'll be surprised if one's in America. Cool. Okay, so Catalonia, Maggiore, Dragon Trail. Okay, so what does this one get? The 308, the Berlinetta, excuse me, and the 458. I'll save that one for last because I'm pretty good at Dragon Trail and I love that track, so I'll do Catalonia first. What are the specs? It has to be a Ferrari, it has to. Looks like we're going to the tune-up shop. Okay. Alright. So, did it... Ah, I didn't see how many PowerPoints it said. Let's double check how many PowerPoints it has to be before I do anything. I think it's 700, but just to be safe. First thing I'm doing was buying Racing Soft. Yeah, 700. For those of you who don't know where I looked, you select this and down the bottom it'll have the races that are on that track. And it says Schwarzwald League and Ferrari Circuit Challenge. And that's how I knew that it was 700 power points, because it tells you the regulations as well. So we'll get some soft tyres. Actually, should we... let's have a look at Ferrari and see what they've got. See if they've got anything good. Because I don't really want to use the F430. Ferrari. Okay. I also don't want to spend too much money or get something with too many power points. It's not really telling me the power points, is it? Oh no, it is. Group 4. Yeah, we'll get that. It's fairly cheap for what it is. Get the black, because I like black cars. And we'll go back to the tune-up shop and give it a quick tune-up. Yep, so our collector level just went up. Change to that car, yes please. It's already at 639, so we pretty much just need to chuck soft tyres on there. But for that, because it's group 4, it'll already have stuff that I was going to put into the other one, so it's already worth it, and we did technically save money. See, so you can't get any of this because it's already in there. So there's already an ECU purchase. I might get that. No, I'll get these first, just so that we can be safe and make sure we don't over purchase. Already got carbon ceramic, that's good. Everything else here, so it's got slotted brakes. That it does have a stock filter, but it is Ferrari, so you'd expect there to be some kind of good filter in there. And we'll put that in if we can fit it, we can. And everything else is looking good, and then we'll go to the garage and give it a quick tune-up. So that is cheaper than it would have been if I wanted to do the other Ferrari, because I would have had to put in most of those parts and spend about the same amount, maybe more. So I'll come into here and I'll change the... So normally what they do with these is they'll put tow on it, see? It's already got 20 in, and the other one has 10 out, just to slow it down a little. That up there. We're going to try put this to the max. We'll put the downforce all the way up so that we can actually make it around a corner. I don't know how high I can put this now. Okay. So this one, normally the downforce isn't too strong. The rear, you don't normally have the downforce as much as the front, because it does make it less powerful, technically. I don't know why, because literally, so technically it makes it slower, but literally it makes it faster because you've got more pressure on the ground. Okay, so that's as high as we can get it. We can't change the transmission, we can't do anything else, except for maybe, we could lower it a tad, maybe 55 at the front. Oh, that's a bit too low. 59 maybe? Nope, can't even do that. Okay, so if I do that maybe? Nope. No, we can't even fit it, never mind. Right, well then, we'll just go do our race then, in our group for Italia. Surely it works though. If it doesn't work and it doesn't let me use the group 4, I'm kind of going to be mad. Because it was a lot of money. Right. I also don't know how fast it is on Catalonia. Cool. It's less than 7. Oh, that's fairly easy. Alright. 5 laps as per usual. And I'm pretty sure we're on the softs. Pretty sure I bought the softs. If I didn't, I'm going to be a little disappointed in myself for buying anything other than soft, because it's the one I go for all the time. I love soft tyres. Stick to the road, go faster, go around the corners with higher speed. It's more versatile. Versatile? Not versatile. It's more worth your money. Because hards, you're all slippery and you go slower. As much as you do last longer, you go slower. Alright. Going as fast as we can up the straight. This is a high RPM turbo and it's giving you almost no power. I'm going to drive straight into the back of those guys. Come around this corner here and we go up the straight and we brake just before the bridge. Or apparently at the bridge. So we do need to brake a little earlier. So that cost us a long time. I don't know why I keep hitting them, because I keep thinking I'm not that close. The front of my car isn't going to look good anymore. And they'll probably want to scrap with me after the race, so I'm going to try not to hit them. Fly past these guys. Oh, no, there's a Testarossa. Okay, oh! I'm not used to a car that's got this much acceleration and good flying, or if it just turns. Because the Mazda it doesn't turn as fast as this. Especially on the brakes. I'm doing this on the brakes, I just realised. I don't know why that didn't turn just then. So we set a 2-minute lap. Not bad. I've seen better. That was a weird kind of brake, but it worked. I was braking and I wanted to get in front of that guy, so I kept accelerating. I didn't know how late I could brake. And I didn't want to just let go of the brake because it wasn't enough power. Okay, so before the bridge here. Oh. This guy's in the way. And here we go. Down to third. Tuck in, hit the apex, lower. And then you always go wide for this corner and slowly turn across the track so that you're ready for the hairpin up here. I did start a bit shallow there, so that's why I didn't make the apex. Should have stayed wider. That's probably my worst skill when it comes to racing. Not starting wide when I get to the corner. Especially with hairpins. Alright. Like a tornado. Down the straight. Reaching 7th gear. and braking now. Off the brakes, down to second. That wasn't the best. Could have done that a bit better, quite a bit better. Went wide, but now we power in. Keep going, brake before the bridge. Or tail decided it wanted to hang out off track and have its own party. That's the thing that's one of my problems with these Ferraris, especially the Group 4 ones. They're always so tail happy, no matter how gentle you are with the throttle, or how straight you are with where it's pointed. Like you could be complete straight in. English. You could be completely pointed at the direction you want to go, and you'll be ready to accelerate, and it just tells you off. It's far from. See, that time I was on the brakes. It's far from what you want in a race car, to be honest. Come around the final corner, coming up to the penultimate lap. One second faster. Can we get a 153? Go all the way around. Little post. About 3/4 throttle and floor when you put straightened up. Wide. Braking before the bridge. And we're already 1 second in front. Just from that control. And we come over here, down to second. I do need to get these apexes a lot tighter. These turns. Because I'm not turning tight enough. That one I just didn't turn in general. Third. Fourth. Wide. Turn across. Sixth. Stay wide. Ready for the final sector. This isn't going to plan. Are my tires wearing out, or what? Why am I going sideways so much? Okay. And as per tradition on this channel, time for a quiet lap. Alright, so we completed the lap. It wasn't faster because I caught up to everyone at the back of the pack and I had to pass them. And I had to go around the outside of that person in the last chicane, so that did slow me down a bit. But hey, we got a 152 too. We were on track for a 151, probably 151 and a half, maybe a bit more. But we completed it and we got our car. We got the 308. Not the car I really want to get, but you know, it is what it is. Right, now we move on to what was the next track? Maggiore. Alright, moving on to Maggiore, so that we can get the Berlinetta. Oh no, oh yeah. Right, so 105 for winning. Alright. Now I'm fairly alright at this course, but I'm definitely not the best. So we're just gonna see how this goes. We'll just have to wait and see. Also, I know I'm probably pronouncing these Ferrari names really badly with me trying to pronounce it with the Italian accent, but you know, I try. I am trying. Alright, so I don't know if this has the same braking point as the Mazda at all, but I do know that it's a lot more tail happy than the Mazda. Because it's got a lot more raw power to the rear wheels. I mean, I'm in 4th already and I'm normally in 3rd by this corner. Okay, flowing it down this downhill straight. Trying to use the slipstream, or half the slipstream as well, so I can get a bit cleaner here. Okay, so 3rd gear for this corner, maybe, yeah. Okay, so definitely braking earlier next time. Going as fast as I can across this crest. Going on the outside. I'm trying to keep it on the track. Managing to, which is good. Now normally I can get to the 50 meter mark to brake, but I'm gonna brake a little sooner today. Completely obliterating the track limits. I'm not getting a penalty because this is only campaign. Coming flying around that 308. And not watching the track, not watching where I'm going, not realizing how fast I was coming up to that corner, and not slowing down. We'll stay in 3rd for this corner so we can get more drive out and go meow. Oh no, there's no meow because I hit the back of that 458. Okay, we'll stay in 4th for this corner. So the main reason that these guys have way more gears than most cars, or have one more gear than most cars, is because they have shorter gear ratios. So they don't really need to wait as long to change gear. So that's why I'm changing gear so quickly, because the gear ratios are so short. Whereas on the Mazda it takes quite a bit to get up to the right RPM to change gear. This also sits at 8,000 RPM after a gear change, and sits at 9 just before you need to change gear. Right, so going as fast as I can up here, clocking close to that, is that a level shift or a stone? I'm gonna call it a stone. Going a bit slower over here just so that I don't completely miss the apex like I did last time. But instead I end up doing that. I'm staying close to that rumble strip there. I'm gonna, I think it's like a stone plate. Coming over here, like at 50. This car really doesn't turn on the brakes and it's making it hard to race, to be honest. Go on the outside of him, go down to 4th. Oh, I hit him? Or did he hit me? I hate how you can't can't brake while turning. It makes it so hard to race. Okay, stay behind this 458 and then swing shot out. I bumped him. Keep it contained. Going wide first, tuck in for this apex, see my exit on the gas. Get an itchy nose, then be scared for your life because you can't pause the game. Down to 2nd, realise that you can't turn on the brakes. Alright, coming down here, ready for the brakes. I hate how you can't turn on the brakes anymore. Makes it so hard to get your braking point as late as possible. Like, normally, you'd brake like that, where I was, and you'd turn in and then release the brakes just before you hit your apex. Well, you can't do that anymore. They've really ruined it when it comes to turning on the brakes in this game. Okay, 7th. Oh, that was beautiful. Now I stayed in 2nd because this turbo, it doesn't really spool up on low end RPM, so I wanted to quite high, which is what you want in this car. You want this car to have, as much as it's not giving you much boost, boost is boost, and it will help push you forward. And you want to be pushed forward if you're doing the race. Okay, come on the corner. Come over as fast as I can. And then wonder what time you're going to get. Okay. Stay in 2nd to see how this car does around that hairpin. Pretty badly compared to all the other laps. Had a little bit of oversteer just then. Right, coming down the straight. Ready for this braking point up here. Hit the apex and go. Keeping close to the stone plate, and then getting ready for this one up here because you can't brake while turning anymore. Feathering the throttle as I go around because I wasn't getting the best steering through here just before and was actually losing speed instead of gaining. Over here making it as wide as possible. 7th gear. Down to the 50 mark after catching some air. Clip that apex and go for it. Feathering the throttle once again so that I don't go too fast through this corner. Into that Dino that just ruined my lap. I tried to avoid him and he steered wide. I wasn't ready for him to go wide just yet. Down to 3rd again, into this corner. trying to catch my time and see if I can make up for it. Get up, down to 4th, maybe 3rd, just so I can get more drive. 6th, I haven't caught it. Alright, final lap. Time for the silent lap. Oh, this is a really good lap. 2:01, and that was with trying to pass people as well. That was good. There was more in that as well, because I did slip out a couple times and I did miss an apex. So, dang. Oh, I just got an achievement. I'll have a look what that is later. I got a 2019. Dang, I'm proud of that. I am very proud of that. I'm interested to see how it does on Dragon Trail. Berlinetto, 2012 edition as well. Right. Let's have a look at that lap actually. Oh. Because I kind of want to watch it. Sometimes when I set a really good fast lap, I want to see it so that I can critique it and just watch how I did. Oh, I've gone too far. Okay. Coming, ripping up the straight. Screaming around that corner, the fastest I've ever done. Now that shift to second was so late because I was thinking about going around in third. Now that was with me braking as late as possible. And see that there was a bit of fishtailing there. Coming past this guy, I did have to go shallow with the entry, which did kind of mess up this whole sector, but made it golden at the same time. Coming ripping around here, and I noticed that I didn't go as wide as I did on the last lap, which made me realise I wasn't that much faster than the last lap through that sector at least. But I came up to here, down to second. I did miss the apex, but that was probably one of the better maneuvers I've ever seen on that track. Coming around this corner and feathering the throttle so that I'm ready for this one and I can go wide. Ready for this corner here. And this one into fourth and down to third just so I can get that little bit extra bit of speed on the top of that horseshoe kind of bit. And coming into this corner I noticed a guy and I went into third so I could get a bit more drive out of that corner to see if I could try and catch him on the back straight. So seeing him actually made me get a bit faster on this back straight. And we were a full second faster while overtaking someone as well. So that's pretty impressive. Saving that replay and going over to Dragon Trail in Croatia. I think it's Croatia. We'll have a look. I wonder if it's Dragon Trail Gardens or if it's Seaside. I'm pretty sure that's Seaside. Hey!
Can I play soon?
Yeah. Do you want to play this one?
No.
Okay.
On GT Sport.
Huh?
GT Sport.
Okay. Alright, getting ready for this race here. 5 laps of Dragon Trail. See if I can do anything to this car before we go in. That's looking all good. Yeah, that's looking alright. I would adjust the body, but it makes me go over 700. Alright. Ready for the race. Let's get in. Now, Death Chicane is going to be an interesting story. Especially that last hairpin. Or the top one, for that matter. Alright. Okay, coming around that guy. Ripping up the straight. Ready for this tight right-hander. It was tight when you got on at high speed. Tucking underneath, just like that, and getting the most speed out of the corner. Or at least more than most guys. We'll go down into fourth here. Okay, so it is a bit slippery through the S's. Hang the left here, go wide. Oh! Using as much of the track as possible, coming over the top of this guy, and then 150. The 150 board has always been my marker and will always be my marker. Alright, ready for Death Chicane. Gonna be a bit interesting with other people in the way. Tight to this corner. Wasn't as tight to the second part of the chicane as I could be, but we managed to get through fairly unscathed. Ready for the breaking point. Over the top of this guy. Dang. Right. Okay, so my goal for this race is to get a sub 40. Maybe 45. 40 might be a bit expensive. Especially if I miss my break point like that. Alright. So we messed up that bit. It's alright, we'll make it up. Down to second. Cutting him off. Flooring it out of the corner and leaving him in the dust. We're already 16ths up on our last lap. Down to fourth. Wearing it round despite the fact we're oversteering. That's alright, we can keep it in control. tighten that one. Over the top of him on the track limit. Get back on the track. Up to the 115 board. Maybe a bit sooner. Then I need a break. Just to make sure I don't hit these guys. He's losing control. We're going to take advantage of that and overtake him. Now, close through here. Trying to come close to this wall. Oh, and I clipped the rumble strip and lost the back end. So we are neck and neck at the moment, and I just that was so sloppy. I don't even want to talk about it. Alright. Lap 3. No one's in front of us. We need to get this lap out before we start catching people. Alright. So I normally brake at the start of that rumble strip, and I'm not normally going that fast in a Group 4 car. Because this is a Group 4 Ferrari, not a Group 3. I can brake at that point in the Group 3 cars even and it works, so I don't know why it doesn't work in this one. I'm a bit surprised. So we'll have to catch the time. Short shifting again. Alright. Coming around the S's, tight to that apex. A little bit of feather on the throttle. Go wide, get back on the track. Tight to this wall and wait for the 150 board. Tight to the apex. Ease on the throttle, and then once you've got a bit more traction, then you can step on it. Come through here, hit that apex, go wide, and normally through here you'll come close to these walls. You'll do it a bit cleaner if you've got a bit of a better car, because you can mount in that groove in between the rumble strip and the wall, and you can keep control of the car, and you can just go through the death chicane at full speed. Okay, so yet again another slow lap. This isn't exactly going to plan, and we're catching the people in the back of the pack because they're only just at the top of the track. I'm gonna go silent here just so I can try focus. Ugh, I hate how you can't turn on the brakes. I don't know how many turns I missed because I can't turn on the brakes. I'm so used to doing it like that. That's normally how I race this track because you kind of have to in some parts, especially this first corner here. Like you'll brake at the 150, which I noticed last lap, and you'll still be on the brakes sometimes for this corner, and it doesn't let you. And it's so annoying because it slows you down. And up here on this hairpin, yet again on the brakes slightly. Oh. Ugh. I was a bit close to that last corner, yeah, I will admit that. Alright, so it looks like I'm not going to be getting a really good lap this race, but that's fine. We don't really need to get a really good lap every race. You do have off races every now and then, so that's fine. Up here on that last lap, I did completely mess it up and I didn't feel the throttle when I noticed I was going a bit wide. So that's a bit of a rookie mistake there. Not slowing down when you knew you need to. Coming through here was really sloppy. I looked away from the screen, yet again, rookie move. And I was really rough with the throttle and the brake and the steering joystick. Over here was probably the worst I've ever done this hairpin in my life of racing this track. I didn't mean to hit that guy. They're a lot closer than you think now as well. Oh, and that was my slowest lap, that's awesome. So yeah, definitely room to improve on that track, especially with the Ferrari. Not used to going that fast, on that track at least. And when I do it in the Formula 1s, on the last Gran Turismo, you have a lot more grip so you can go around corners a bit faster, especially if you're on super softs, which aren't a thing in this game anymore, so that's pretty cool, pretty awesome, excuse me. But we're making our way up in the world. We got the last Ferrari, so we completed the cafe menu, this one. Gonna quickly save that replay and exit. Right, so we don't have many more to go, I don't think. Don't think we got many more challenges to go to complete the cafe menus. Go to the cafe, give Luca his cars, and then we read as per the norm on this channel. Oh, Sav, Le Mans. Thought it was Le Mans. So that's the last track for Europe, by the way, so I think we only have one more challenge to do, which will be on Le Mans, and it'll be like an endurance race or something, I bet. And then that's it, I think we've completed it, so we'll have a look. And then we can do that in our next stream. There's something very special about getting your hands on a Ferrari. This 308 GTB from the 1970s was the company's first two-seater midship V8. One of its successors is the 458 Italia, another much-loved V8 engine machine. Ferrari is well known for using V12 engines in its high-end cars, and I'm sure you've heard the way the F12 Berlinetto roars. It sounds just like a Ferrari racing car. Ferrari's founder, Enzo Ferrari, used to be a racing driver in his youth, and he also proved himself to be adept at running a racing team. In 1947, he established his own car company, naming it after himself, and Ferrari have been competing in Formula 1 ever since the championship was established in 1950. No other car manufacturer has managed that. Ferrari focus on producing F1 cars, racing cars, and extremely high-performance sports cars. They're produced in limited numbers and are far from cheap, which is why getting your hands on one is special. So I think this is the last one. Judging by the look of that, I would say it's the last one. Well, the time has finally come. The time for you to try your hand at the pinnacle of racing, the World GT Series. Pick your favorite car you've collected so far and take it to the track. Be aware, however, that the PP limit for this championship is 800. You will therefore be mostly up against Group 3 class cars. Tuning up a competitive car won't be easy, but I want you to try your best. Finish in the top 3 and secure a place on the podium. I'll be waiting for you. Alright, so it looks like this is the last one. This is the final challenge for the 100% maybe. I'm not too sure. I haven't watched anyone complete this game. I'm just doing it for myself. And from... oh, there must be one more. There's no way they're finishing on 39. Let me just do a quick Google search so that I know. Menu, books, and GT7. 39. This is the last one. This is it. This is the piece of resistance. The final challenge of GT7. How many races? 5. So we've got Deep Forest, Spa, Le Mans, Mount Panorama, and Nürburgring. Wow. Okay. Main cars: WRX Group 3, NSX Group 3, Mark 5 Group 3, Mark 6 Group 3. Okay, do I have any Group 3s? Let's go to performance points. I'm not using that. That's a Group 3. We could upgrade that. Let me just see what I can do to this. Okay, so I'm gonna go waste money on this so that it's at almost 800 power points. And then I'm not doing the race today because that is 5 races in a row, so I'll be way too tired out before the end of the championship. But however, if you guys happen to come back, you may happen to see me doing it tomorrow or maybe next week, it depends. But I'll make sure that I don't do it without you guys, just so that you get to see me complete the game. Get those as well just in case, but I do want those. So this is the final race. I'm just going to set up the car and then I will do the race another day just because of how big of a race it is. I'm going to buy intermediates for this car as well, and maybe heavy wet just in case. Am I allowed to buy one of these? I think I might buy one of these and put it in there. Alright. Now I'm going to quickly modify the car just so that you guys know that it's ready, and I'm going to practice this past week until the race. So be sure to come back next Thursday at 12 o'clock to see me do this race, because this is the final one. This is the live or die, the kill or be killed. Why is it so high? Alright, put that back up. Oh, I didn't even realize. What? Look at that difference. an extra 6 brake horsepower, and it goes from 680 to 727. What is that? Alright, I might grab this as well. Do I have any other Group 3s? No. I'll grab this, and I don't think this thing has softs, no. So we'll give this a quick upgrade as well, just so that it's race ready in case we want to use that one instead of the Atenza at some point. And I'm going to practice and get used to these cars over the week. I'm going to make sure that it's good. Alright, I'm going to modify this off screen so that I don't bore you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. And all I can say from here is have a good night.